you across the Firth of Lorne to Duart Castle on the east coast of the island of Mull. This has been the ancestral home of the clan MacLean since the 13th century, although it was confiscated after the Battle of Culloden in 1746. Duart Castle had been reduced to a derelict shell by the time it was bought by Sir Fitzroy MacLean in 1911. He carefully restored it, and it's presently occupied by the 27th chief, with one area designated as a museum. Mull has several castles. Also in this vicinity is the relatively modern Torresay Castle, built in the middle of the 19th century. The splendid terrace gardens here were designed by Sir Robert Lorimer in 1899. The sound of Mull looking west. There's another castle on our approach to Salin, or at least the ruins of a castle. Arros Castle on the north side of Salin Bay was built by the MacDonalds in the 13th century and was an important stronghold of the Lords of the Isles. Tobermory has to be the most attractive town in the west of Scotland, pleasantly situated on its sheltered bay at the head of the Sound of Mull. It's certainly one of the best known. The town was established as a fishing port in 1788, but great use was made of the harbour prior to that date. It's well served with all amenities, and with a large number of yachts berthed here during the summer months, it might be said to resemble Saint-Tropez. It's got a lot going for it, Tobermory. Each part of Mull has its own individual identity, and west of Tobermory, the north end of the island is most appealing. It's particularly verdant, with hills, woodland, and rivers meandering their way to the lochs round the coast. The area's full of picturesque little villages such as Dervig. This is the home of the world's smallest theatre, where 38 of an audience constitutes a full house. The local church is also pretty special. The road leading south, and Loch na Keal. At the far side of the loch is the island of Alva, ancestral home of the clan Macquarie. Dr. Boswell and Samuel Johnson were rather uncomplimentary about Alva. Being informed that there was nothing worthy of observation in Alva, we took boat. There's actually a great deal worthy of observation here. It's a pleasant little island with fertile land, woodland, and pebble shores. Furthermore, there are caves that attest to the presence of prehistoric man on Alva some 7,000 years ago. Lachlan Macquarie, renowned in history as the father of Australia, was born in Alva. David Livingstone's forefathers hail from here too. Inchkenneth is of significance with regard to the ecclesiastical history of Scotland. There were strong ties between the communities of Inchkenneth and Iona during St. Columba's lifetime. Because the soil is so fertile, the island once provided grain for the monks of Iona. There's said to have been a monastery here once, and there's a ruined chapel dedicated to St. Kenneth, one of the brethren of Columba. In more recent times, the island was fairly well known during World War II due to its connection with the Mitford family, prominent socialites and writers of the time. Leaving Inchkenneth, there are fantastic views from the rocks of Loch na Keal. The roads in this area require one's full and undivided attention, as you can see. Loch na Keal from Grulin. Southeast of Loch na Keal is Loch Ba, where an ancient dwelling known as a crannog is still in evidence. Loch Ba is 3 miles long, and at its head lies the Grulin estate and the imposing Grulin House. Lachlan Macquarie, first Governor of New South Wales, is interred here. The National Trust for Australia maintains his mausoleum. From the southern shores of Loch Ba, there are wonderful views through the glens to the mountains, and there are many of those to be enjoyed too. The mountains of Mull have greatly inspired artists and writers through the centuries. English landscape painter Joseph Turner visited Mull, as did the poets John Keats and William Wordsworth. The celebrated Scottish writers Sir Walter Scott and Robert Louis Stevenson were also fond of the island, and indeed both featured it in their works. Benmore is the highest of the Mull Mountains. It enjoys Munro status, and very striking is its appearance too. From the summit, there are stunning views out to the east side of the island, extending to the Slate Islands. There are some beautiful lochs in the southeastern region, known as the Garden of Mull. Loch Spelv, Loch Usk, and Loch Buie. This castle was reputedly built above a natural spring in the 14th century by the MacLeans of Loch Buie. It has a dungeon filled with water, with a stone in the centre on which the prisoner sat in complete darkness. The headland known as Malcolm's Point. The shoreline surrounding the Ross of Mull Peninsula is particularly craggy and therefore guaranteed to attract a large and varied quantity of bird life. Bingangori, above Trai Caganyesa. Even the beaches in this area are difficult to surpass. The Ross of Mull is ancient moorland with scattered clumps of trees. It's been designated as an area of special geological interest. The short crossing from Fiumafort takes us to one of Britain's best-known islands, Iona, or St. Columba's Isle. It's thought that Iona was inhabited at least as far back as the Iron Age, and that it was a centre of spirituality even before St Columba arrived there from Ireland in the year 563. There's something unique, even mystical, about the coastline here. Many painters have attempted to capture Iona's light on canvas, but that's by all accounts quite a challenge. The village of Ballamore welcomes 500,000 tourists every year. Iona's sacred sites are all within easy reach of the jetty here. Iona Abbey was without a roof when the Church of Scotland took over restoration in 1902. 8 years of work followed, after which the buildings were maintained by the Iona community, which was founded by the Reverend George MacLeod, later Lord MacLeod. Today, Iona Cathedral Trust is responsible for its upkeep.